Oh. Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of Three Crones in the Woo Woo. I am one of your crones. My name is Gayle Nicholson with Creative Command Coaching and Consulting. And to my side, I have Ms. Krista Ducharme with Dimensional Healing with Krista on Facebook. And supporting us from below, as always, we have Damaris Samolinski with Ask the Genie with Damaris Samolinski. Oh my goodness, ladies, it's been a heck of a week. I want to ask how both of you are, but Krista has to go first because she has been battling back European COVID.
Yeah.
How
there
are
we
you
go.
doing,
I knew
sweetheart?
you
Are
were
you
going
feeling
to
any
get
better?
that out. So yes, no, we all went to, no worries. We all went to Amsterdam to visit, have a little visit with my oldest sister and her family, and came back with COVID. So I didn't get a T-shirt that says I went to Amsterdam and came back with COVID.
Yeah, nice.
But so actually, Kevin came down first, then Genevieve, and then me. And it seems to be that, Kevin's mainly on the mend. Jenna's working towards, being healthier. And this is me. Mm-hmm. This is the most energized I've been all day, people.
Good.
Well, I'm so happy that you were able to come in and do this with us today. Mm-hmm. We missed you last week. We did okay, but we missed you.
Yeah, I missed you guys too. It was funny because I tuned in. You saw me, and I said hi. But seriously, we were literally in the canals at the time, and so yeah, I couldn't stream really because I was going. We were in the canals, and I was going in and out of buildings, lots of buildings and stuff, which was really cool because it was a private tour. We did this private tour. Yeah, so we got to see canals that we've never seen before.
That's very, very cool.
It really was super cool. We had a really great time.
Now, have you been to Amsterdam before? It was Amsterdam. Yeah. You were in the canals, right?
Yes.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, this was our...
How are you holding up, Damaris?
What was that? What was that, Gayle?
Well, I think we're on some sort of delay.
Yeah, it seems like
I think we're on some sort of delay because I just asked, how things were going with Damaris, and you didn't hear it for a little bit.
Yeah, there is a delay.
Which is, it's possible.
Yeah, for me, it's been a rough week. I had to put my dog to sleep, so it's been hard. Just, going through the process, but I'm feeling better.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, it really is difficult when we have to do that, isn't it? They're more than just animals.
He was a part of my family. I mean, he was with me 15 years, so he was 15 years old,
Oh, that is...
But the house seems empty without him.
Yeah, I imagine. I imagine. Oh my goodness. So hello to everybody who's joined us so far. Sue's out there. I picked up some things, Sue, that I wonder if I should send them to you and see if you and Krista's dad can do anything with them. You guys want to see what I've been doing this past week?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, here we go. Let's see if this works. Yeah, so this is the vial of the pretties. Yeah. And I apologize, there's going to be a weird thing going on because I got two mics. Ooh, maybe some sunshine will come out and help us.
Nice diamonds.
Yeah.
Look at those herks.
Yeah. So these will all be available for sale. Some of them are very, very tiny and very perfect. And some of them are bigger and not quite so perfect. But this is about 3 to 4 days of just sluicing or picking them off the ground.
Wow.
Yeah. Aren't they gorgeous?
They're
and
beautiful.
there is one in here. Where is it? It better be in here. Somewhere in here. That is, here it is. You see this one?
It's a golden herc.
It's a golden healer.
It's a golden herc. Oh wow, those are definitely unique.
Yes.
And hard to come by.
Very hard. Especially like perfectly formed like that. All right, so I'm going to take this out of, actually, I can do that. Ooh, I muted the mic. So yeah, these are some. Can you hear this?
Yeah, you guys are having the dog council.
Yes. Yes, the dogs are definitely doing their thing. Anyways, so I just wanted to share all that with you because I am very, very excited about these Herkimer diamonds. They are just, I'm in love.
Amazing.
I'm in
They're
love.
beautiful.
Herkimers are fabulous for really connecting you to your higher self, your higher purpose. If you're going to be going in for an attunement, any of you, for Reiki, like a Reiki attunement, Herkimer diamonds are fabulous for helping you with that and stuff. So yeah, this is I love Herkimers.
Yep. And they work with the top 3 chakras very, very well. And I want to say accentuate, but it's amplify any other crystals that you work them with. So I'm very excited. I'll be making up some interesting little, what I'm envisioning is little keepsake glass vials on a chain with Herkimers and other crystals for particular talisman work.
I love that.
Beautiful.
Thanks.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's phenomenal stuff. And it was a lot of fun and a lot of hard work. It's not easy.
No, it's not.
But the Ace of Diamonds mine that I went to in Herkimer County, New York, was really, really nice. Very inexpensive. You know, camping there was very, very inexpensive. And rental of the tools and everything you needed. They have 3 levels of camping. I put a Google review up for them. But it was really fun. And the funnest part about it, honestly, was watching the people come in during the day with their kids and getting a sluice bucket or a bag that's been seeded with a couple of nice Herkimers. Their excitement when they find their first diamond.
Wow.
You know, it's like, I found one. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's lovely. It really is lovely to watch other people with their kids and enjoying all of that. So we want to say hi to a couple more people that have joined us, Pilar and Tracy Paquin. Thanks so much for joining us. The Facebook user, I'm not sure who that is. I'm not on the Facebook group. Can you see it, Krista?
I can't. I haven't. Let me see.
Okay.
Sorry.
No worries.
I was doing other things.
So I am
oh, it's
mobile.
Gregory.
Oh, hi, Gregory.
Hi, Gregory.
Hi, Gregory.
Fantastic. So I am not in New England. I am not spending the weekend in New England, like Barry would say. I am in the 14th state. So can anybody out there tell me which state is the 14th state? And we'll leave that for you guys to ruminate. No Googling.
No cheating.
I actually have a live audience here on the other side of my camera.
Okay.
Did you Google?
I would log in. That'd make it very handy.
Nice.
I just posted your question.
Okay, great. Yep. So Tracy wants to know how you're feeling, Krista.
This is me. I'm energized. I'm here.
She's got all those rocks holding her up.
Yes.
Honestly, if I end up on the ground, someone just message Kevin, okay?
Awesome
So
stuff.
funny.
You have a guess. Ohio.
Ohio. Nope, that's
Ohio.
not it. That's not it. We'll give you a little more time to go. And let's see here. What else is there really to cover before we get into it this week? I know there's a lot going on this week, all the way around. And, we'll just get going and things will unfold, I'm sure. So, Damaris, my dear, are you ready to go?
I am.
Awesome. Yay.
Yay.
So the week of 24th to 30th, is there a 31st this month?
There is. There is. Okay, Sunday is the 31st. This Sunday coming up, I think. All right. This Sunday. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So I'll talk a little bit about the new moon that was on the 24th. The new moon was in the new moon in Leo.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. So Leo is all about, I want to give you sort of like a description of what Leo is about. Leo is very prideful. Leo, has a lot of pride and confidence. So sometimes, with that energy, if we have to balance it, right? Because if you're too prideful, then you become arrogant, so to speak, right? So we have to sort of like balance that energy. And what that energy wants us to do is to really create whatever it is we're here to create. I always say to people, it's like confidence is needed, courage, right? Yeah. We all have fears, but you can have fear with the courage, right? So it's about
you can't have courage without fear.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So no matter if we have that fear, if we're afraid of the unknown or if we're going to make it, a lot of people have a fear of failure, and so it's about creating those things that, that are in our souls. I'm saying in our soul's contract, no matter what, it's just going out there and manifesting, our goals and our creation that we want to manifest, and just balancing the pride, because Leo is very, very prideful. Very prideful. So it could be, to the extreme, Yeah. So that's what I want to say about that. But today I want to talk about Jupiter. Jupiter is going into retrograde on the 28th. So now Jupiter is all about expansion. It's about growth. But it also works on the other side. If let's say we're using drugs, that expands that desire to use more drugs. So it works on both ends. So it's whatever state of mind we're in, it will expand that state of mind. And so when Jupiter's in retrograde for 4 months, it's going to be in retrograde for 4 months. What it wants us to do is almost like to stop and take a look at where we're at, like our progression thus far. And so how much have we expanded? How much have we grown, thus far, especially since everything started, let's say in 2020, right? We've all been through some darkness. We've all been through hard times during 2020. And if we stop and take a look and say, have we lost our confidence? Have we lost our inspiration, our motivation because of whatever we've been through? So it's a time to stop for the next 4 months and say to ourselves, let me utilize whatever I've been through, and how am I going to use it going forward? How am I going to use it to, in the positive? Because again, Jupiter is a very positive, very optimistic planet. I'm sorry. And so, but when we go through, breakdowns, we could also expand, the sadness, the depression. Like I said before, my doggie passed away. So if I stay in that energy of depression, I'm not going to accomplish all the things that I need to accomplish. So it's about utilizing that pain, right, of that loss, and incorporating it in what I'm doing forward, right? And so how do I use that pain going forward? I mean, I feel like, and just to be very honest, I feel like my dog opened up my heart in ways that I never thought possible. No human being had ever opened my heart that way. I know I had children, and when I had my kids, I was, in love with my children when I gave birth to them. But the love from the dog was very unconditional, very unconditional. I mean, my dog used to, when I came in, used to jump out of his skin. My kids never did that. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
it opened up my heart in ways that I never thought possible, that love, that connection. And so I am going to utilize that connection, that love, that expansion of my heart chakra in the future going forward. And I have to thank my dog for that. So the number 3 is that, and that's the reason why I talked about Jupiter today. The number 3 is ruled by Jupiter. And so the number 3 is all about creation, manifestation. It's all about, the Trinity, right? Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. It's also life. It's also spirit, life, and energy. And that's who we are. We're spirit, life, and energy. And so whatever we're creating depends on the energy. So if we're in a low vibration, if we're in a low negative energy, that's what we're creating. Right. And so we need to be very mindful of what we're thinking, what we're going through, and how we're utilizing all of that into moving forward, because what we're creating could be something very negative based on where we're at, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physically. And so especially, like, I want to ask you, Gayle, because you've been through a lot of changes. In the last, I'm going to say, 6 months?
Oh, it's 6 months, yes, but even longer than that. The last year.
Okay.
Almost exactly the last year has been. About a year ago was when I made the decision to not get another place in Arizona and instead go back to Michigan. And by October, I was in Michigan.
Yes.
And now I'm not. And like you said, it was kind of like the first 6 months there, and then the next 6 months they were different things, but they were all still, really heavy duty dragon slaying, really heavy duty watching the breakdown of my life for something greater. And literally this week things have shifted into that something greater. And it's kind of funny, and it's been very frustrating because all the way along I keep hearing, this is coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. And it's like, really? How many trap doors does this have? And now it's here.
And it's so now with that energy of the energy of Jupiter and the energy of the number 3, it's about, the number 3 is about what you're manifesting, moving forward. And so if you stay, because you've been through so many changes, if you stay in an energy of, let's say, lower vibration, that's what you're going to get for the next 6 months or the next year. So this 4-month period when Jupiter is in retrograde is about, what is going to inspire you now? What is going to motivate you now? And how are you going to share that inspiration or that motivation with other people?
Right.
And so that's what this energy is really about. No matter what we all have been through stuff. So no matter what we've been through is, how are we going to utilize it moving forward? And what state of mind are we going to be in so that we're not creating more negative things in the months and years to come? And so that's what really those two energies are about. Again, Jupiter is very spiritual planet. It's a very, very spiritual planet. And so it also is asking us to become more in tune with our soul's energy, who we are as a soul, not necessarily as in the physicality. And so I always say it's like life energy. Spirit life energy creates an individualized self-conscious, which then creates your soul's conscious. So that's where we're leading to, the soul's conscious. When we get there, we already know the purpose, the mission, why we're here, and we're just going to get on with it and move whatever we have to move out of the way to do it.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So can I share something?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm just going to quietly, I was backing away. Let me just explain. My cat was in the window and now I'm looking for her.
Oh, no. So did she jump out? You're on the 3rd floor.
Yeah, I am. I don't think she did, but that's okay. No, I learned something. I want to just add something.
Sure.
For Gayle.
Okay.
And I was listening to another witch, if you will. She calls herself a witch. And she was saying, her name's Megan, and she's Ink Goddess Creations. Is so you guys will know who I'm talking about. She's
Inked Goddess. I know her on TikTok.
Yeah, she's on TikTok.
Yeah.
She has a wonderful business.
Yes.
Wonderful person.
Yeah.
So she was talking about moon manifestations and what her experience has been. I'm still getting better. And her what she was talking about, and it made so much sense, especially as an outsider following you, Gayle.
Okay.
So I'm going to use you again. But when we manifest,
that's my purpose in life. I experience things to help others through them.
Well, but wait until I share this. Okay. So because we just had the new moon, it's a great time for writing down what you want to manifest, what you're trying to desire to move forward, what it is you're trying to create. So it was in Leo. So the full cycle isn't going to the next full moon or the next new moon. That isn't the cycle. It's actually following through to the full moon in Leo, which occurs 6 months later. So
interesting.
And when she said that, I was like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. Because things shift and alter, but we need that whole process of going through. So just something in everybody, because I know that we have our moon calendar or our moon journal. Workbook. Thank you. Words are not. I'm still working on this, guys. I'll be better next week. So make note when you're making notes in your journal and your workbook that we have on our Patreon side. Make notes, and especially with the dates of what you're working, and then see the pattern and see if it trends and works for you. That in 6 months later, for the full moon from Leo, or if it's you wait until next month and you do the new moon in Virgo, or as you know, it progresses. See how that works for you. See how that trends for you, because it made sense to me. Also, not just listening to Gayle's story, but just things that I've seen in my own life. Because we think that it's going to be instant. We think that it's going to be, it won't take long.
It's going to happen in 2 weeks by the time the full moon gets there. And sometimes some things
it does.
But for real transformation, that makes sense that it would take the full cycle of coming around to, the full moon in that same house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was something that really, really struck me and resonated with me. And I was like, that really. And the more I've thought about it and the more I've sat with it, the more I can see where it's shown up. Yeah. Just like that.
Yeah.
So
I've been really present lately to the fact of so much stuff that we have not been taught.
Yeah.
That is very real, very helpful, especially to women.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's very sad.
It is.
Well, I don't even know if it's that it hasn't been taught. I think it's been taught but forgotten, and we've jumped. So we disconnected so much from the nature side of things because we wanted to follow science. And yes, I did air quote science.
Yeah.
That's that we could do a whole episode just on that.
Let me make one comment that I made to somebody yesterday when I was chatting with them about science and the scientific method and all of that. Look, I respect the scientific method. It is a beautiful way to set up a test that can test the physical world. Okay. But it's just like the difference between the photos from the Hubble telescope and the James Webb telescope. They're the same photograph. However, the James Webb has the ability to see this mid-range infrared dust out there that the Hubble did not have the opportunity to see. Okay.
Yeah.
So the Hubble is putting back, the fact, right? Like this is what's out there, right? But the James Webb has the ability to see another level of what is actually there that makes that picture pop. There's more detail. We can learn more from it. And there's more possibilities for us to learn because of that mid-range infrared that wasn't available with the Hubble. So as far as I'm concerned, it's just like the scientific method. If it can be proven within these parameters, great, wonderful. That's a fact, great, wonderful. But if that method, if that structure, the scientific method, is missing something that could show us so much more detail and make things so much more, a realm of possibility and things to learn, then that makes the scientific method incomplete for what the expanse of everything that's possible in the universe.
I agree 100%. And we're supposed to combine spirituality with science. It's supposed to be combined so that we can get the whole scope of things. And they really don't do that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure. I think it's more a case of what we share. Remember, so the more you get educated, the broader the finer the details become, right? I was talking about, we were at museums when we were up in Amsterdam, and a lot of it was art museums, but it also brought up some interesting things because one of the museums that I went to was a art museum. Had a lot of really cool things, but it also had a lot of things that were politically related as well with the modern art, which brought up some interesting conversation in terms of history as well, because a lot of the kids, they'll say, well, I didn't learn this in school, or I didn't learn that in school. And I'm like, no, you didn't, because you're only taught with a broad stroke of what you needed to understand for history at that given moment. That it becomes finer details the more in depth you become, the more you study it. And I use history because that's my background. That's my degree, was all in history. And I remember sitting there in those history classes and I'm thinking to myself, oh, wait, I didn't learn that the last class I took that was related, right? But I didn't learn that because I got more in depth with this. It's like it's a layer. It's like a layered cake.
Yeah.
Each layer has its own bit, and it's the same with sciences.
It's so funny because Jupiter is the planet of expansion, and how do we expand is through the consciousness. So the more we research, the more we learn, the more we become aware, we're expanding, we're evolving. And so, they teach us so much in school, but then it's up to us to go further in whatever it is we are interested in. They don't teach us spirituality in school, but yet here we are. We went further in researching and understanding and becoming aware. So we expanded and we're evolving by doing so. Again, we're spiritual beings having a physical experience. So, we
Agreed.
need
to, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Study is so important now because they're going to give you what they need you to know in order for you to be, forgive me, controllable and do the job that they need you to do.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And again, for a second, back to the scientific method. Scientific method controls for variables, right? If you can bring your own magic to any given situation, that is a major variable they have to cancel out. It's just to, thoughts change from second to second. Right. And it's similar the other way as well. If you're creative, if you're allowed to follow your own inspiration, then they need to cut that variable, right? So they're going to give you the information they need you to know, and it's on you if you're interested
100%.
to go further, right?
Yes.
When I was in elementary school, now we're all from the generation, at least in the US here, where they were like, oh, girls can't do science and math, right? And I still have a core memory of my brother. I had learned my multiplication tables and I was so excited. And he's like, "Yeah, well, what's the square root of 16?" And I was stymied because I was in second grade. you know? And I felt like I gotten ambushed, and I would never allow myself to show that I was proud that I knew math again. I would have to fly under the umbrella of girls don't do math, right? From there on out. And same thing with science. Same brother, by the way. And he wasn't a bully. He was one of my favorite brothers. But he just made some core memories for me. Like he had a science experiment, expo
Experiment.
that he did this science experiment for the expo. That was the baking soda volcano, right?
Yeah.
And it was just fascinating to me. But I didn't understand how it worked. So I decided that I didn't understand science either. Right. And then I get into high school and I end up getting put into this geology class because I had spent too much time at the park during school hours and couldn't do the chemistry class. And I absolutely loved it. I loved learning about rocks and the land and all of that. And I loved when I was in 7th grade science class and we took a piece of picture jasper and made a piece of jewelry out of it and all of those things. Now I'm 53 years old going, God damn it, I do know math. I do like science. I wish I had spent the last 30 years doing lapidary and making jewelry and that kind of stuff.
It's not too late.
Well, I know it's not. I got supplies.
Yeah, there you go. Jewelry making is really fun.
Yeah, it is. I do dabble a little bit with that. But I guess why I'm saying all of that is because I'm so frustrated and angry that the powers that be, if you will, came in over 100 years ago and directed the evolution of this country to serve their own goddamn purposes.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And
now it's our time, though.
Well, and that's just it. We've got to bring in that 5D. We've got to bring in that, mid-range infrared sensors.
That's right. That's right, Gayle. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And so we have to expand, in ways like astrology is a science, and that's not taught in school. They teach you astronomy, I think, in college, right?
Yeah.
Not astrology.
Yes, you can take
astrology.
No,
and
not
it is
astrology.
It is a spiritual science. And so, I'm glad I expanded to that.
Yep. Agreed. All righty, ladies. We've been having a wonderful talk.
Oh, that was short.
Yeah, what happened there?
That last little bit just gets my head popping. Anyways, so Miss Krista, we got stuff.
Yes.
I have a new sticker.
What was that? I'm sorry.
It's a new sticker. It just came in today.
Ooh, I love it. I love it.
It's really crystal. Awesome. And then I have 2 sample packs of 2 other ones. I'll post them so people can see. Okay. But yeah, I'm very excited. They just came in today. Sorry, I'm all stuffy again. So the crystal of the week. That's what we have, right? The crystal.
We do.
Are we ready for that? Because I'm very excited.
Ooh, yes. Pretty.
I'll pretend I'm excited. Here we go. It's Tiger's Eye, everybody. So Tiger's Eye is a great crystal for helping us to ground with protection, right? I love to use Tiger's Eye because it has flash in it. And any of you who've been following us for a while knows that I love stones that have flash, because the stones that have flash create a lightness. They create a sparkle. They open up the energy. The other thing that I find that it does is it beams out a mirror of protection. Right. So you have to use your visualization a little bit. You have to think, when I think of the flash and and I'm working with a stone and it flashes and I see that flash. I think of it as giving me this um, magical bubble and of protection as I ground down. Now, one of the things that I keep seeing with this tiger's eye in correlation to what it is for this week is it's to help us lighten things up. Remember, we have Jupiter in retrograde. We just were in a new moon. We have a lot of things that are happening, and an energy can feel really heavy, and it can feel kind of dense.
Definitely.
Well, one of the things that it will help us to do is lift our spirits up. You know, the gold color, it corresponds in a golden tiger's eye, a regular tiger's eye. It corresponds with our power center, our our third chakra. Sorry, brain here. Our third chakra, our powerhouse.
It is being deprived of oxygen of every breath you take. So don't be too rough on yourself there.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm really trying hard with this. But the thing that I was getting, it gives us this energy and it helps us with the happiness and the uplifting. But it also protects and grounds us. So if you're going to work with the tiger's eye this week, be an allowance to give you that uplifting energy boost that you probably don't realize that you're missing. I know that for me, I probably would take a bath in tiger's eye right now and be very content and happy and hope that it would uplift and battery charge my energy. I'm also in awareness when you're not well, you have to kind of let the body do its thing.
Yep.
And I have to put in a cough drop. So when you're working with it, if you have a piece, Gayle, do you have pictures? I know that sometimes you do pictures of the stones.
Yeah,
I don't know if
I
you
did.
that.
I ran it. We'll run it again. No worries.
Okay. I didn't see. Oh,
there you go.
And then do we have, there you go. Tiger's eye. Oh, so pretty. So pretty.
It is pretty.
Put the tiger's eye in your non-dominant hand. So whichever hand that you don't write with, put the tiger's eye in there gently and sit with it. And I want you to just breathe in and then exhale out gently with this stone. Don't spend a lot of time getting in your head. Let go of what's going on in your head. Let it, and just tiger's eye makes you feel. Because this is not what I feel a tiger's eye can vary. It's like with any stone. It's what I need on that day.
Yeah. Yep.
That's why, Damaris gives you the energy of the week and I give you the crystal of the week. Well, that goes with the energy as well.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind when we're talking about the energies. It's not always going, I may change, not the crystal, but the energy, not meaning, but what I'm perceiving that we need to share. Even though it might be the same crystal that shows up later on.
Yep.
So I wanted to point that out.
Yep.
But that is all I'm going to share today because I'm going to start coughing if I share more.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yes.
Well, thank you for that.
Thank you.
And we are going to say thank you to our devoted Coven of Joy over on Patreon. All of our members are listed there. Yours could be there too if you'd like to come and join us. Patreon.com/3 Crones and the Woo Woo. We have 2 levels now. The citrine level is at $4 a month, and the amethyst level is at $15 a month. And there's so much added to the amethyst level. Both of them offer more contact with us, more insights from us, private shows that the general public doesn't get to see, and classes that we're forming now. So if you're interested, of course you're interested, just get over there and freaking sign up. Come on.
It's simple, people. It really is simple.
It really is. It really is. Awesome stuff. All right. So let's see here. What else is there to talk about right now? The card comes after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I found that when I started talking about the card, it kind of rolled over to what I'm talking about. And and then I'd go back and do the segment starter, and it was weird, like out of
Okay.
time, out of sequence. So we're doing it this way now. And it's absolutely perfect because today's topic is all about accepting all of you. Now, like Damaris was just talking about, and even Krista with the last part that she just said too, this is about taking a look at what you've been through for the last 6 months and kind of taking inventory. And also, people don't necessarily like that term, but taking inventory, what was good, what was bad, and from a completely objective point of view. Okay, that happened. Okay, that's how I responded to that. That happened. That happened. That happened. Right. And it's not about delving into the guilt and the shame and the remorse that I wish it would have gone a different way and all of that. It's really not. It's about, okay, keep that. Work on getting rid of that one. Keep that, keep that, keep that. Oh, that's got to go. Right.
Yeah.
Just from a completely objective standpoint, like it doesn't mean anything about you. This is the past. It's unchangeable. Figure out what's worth it and what's not.
Exactly.
And as always, that goes right into today's card of the day, judgment.
Judgment.
Right now, again, a reminder to everybody out there, whenever I see this card judgment in the tarot deck, and remember, tarot is older than Christianity, I go to the discernment side of judgment. This is not, just like that card shows the angels with the trumpets in heaven, and it's judgment day, and you're gonna, based on your answers on this final exam, you're gonna be assigned to hell or heaven. That's not that. This is all about using your discernment to decide what's so, what you want to move forward with, what you want to put down and walk away from, and really taking stock of what has been going on for you so that you can create what you want to contribute to the world, in a way that basically has been, I'm getting an image of a pot on the stove simmering down until, the sugar water becomes syrup, if you will. It's been condensed. The flavors are brighter now. Life is not so thin. It's richer, and it's got more nutrients packed into a lesser area for you to enjoy, with doing this process. So your assignment this week, should you choose to accept it, is to make an inventory list of all of the things that came to mind over the last 6 months. Those things might include plans that you made that didn't work out, plans that you didn't make that worked out and you're surprised and delighted, ways that you reacted to particular given situations, right? And just make the list, and then go through that and put like a check mark next to the things that you want to hold on to going forward, and maybe an X mark next to the things that you don't, so that you can choose for yourself the things to bring with you and the things to set down, so that this next 6 months of your full self expression in the world, really contributes to the world at large in a cleaner and more refined way than you were ever able to contribute before. Make sense?
I love that.
Awesome.
I love that. I love that.
Awesome stuff. So yeah, it's
as you were talking, I was thinking, it brought to my mind, like, sometimes we're codependent on someone, something. It could be the government. Who cares, right? It's a codependent on something. And so with that new moon in Leo also, it's about going within also and finding your creative resources, expanding it with the Jupiter energy, expanding it, where now you become your own sort of, like, you become self-reliant, and then you can teach others to do the same. Because we cannot continue to be codependent on anything or anyone, because being codependent, it almost like it inhibits us from expressing our full self-expression.
Right. Absolutely. Well, I've talked in the past about different CODA meetings. They had CODA meetings in Michigan when I was there, or they used to. There's one meeting in the entire state now. But I would meet these women, middle aged or older than us, our mom's age down to ours, that were there because, they've done all of this work to make a peaceful suburban home, and their husbands just won't like toe the line with not screwing it up, right? But they
Yeah.
run around making everything okay again, right? And it's just, they're the enabler. So
Yeah.
one of the things maybe to look at is, where have you been enabling other people in life,
I
right?
love that. I love that.
And here's the thing. I don't want you to come at it from, oh, I've been contributing to their downfall, because a lot of people, they blame the enabler. Well, if you didn't buy the beer when you went to the grocery store, you wouldn't have it in the fridge to drink all night. That's true, but she's also trying to protect herself from the dry drunk tantrum
Yes.
as well. Okay.
Yes.
But that beside the point. You don't blame the enabler. Okay. Here's how I want you to look at it. Every moment that you spend putting someone else's behavior, trying to manage their behavior, trying to guard against their behavior going bad, is one less moment that you are free to contribute to the universe as a whole, what you were fucking created to bring.
100%. I agree with that.
Okay.
I agree.
So, yeah, just take that into account, that in that codependency point of view, because you've got to. I am such a proponent for full self expression. Each individual of us was created separately,
Yeah.
differently. There is no one on the planet. There never has been
No.
anyone on the
Never
planet. There
will
never
be.
will be anyone on the planet that is exactly like you.
Yeah.
And if it's been given to you to give forward, we need you.
Yeah. We need
We
you.
need you.
Yep.
So,
I agree with that. I agree
you know,
100%. It's if we never get into our purpose, then we're only a potential. I always tell people that we're only a potential. And the reason why that is because we veer off on a different path. We get involved in things that slow us down. We get wrapped up in other people's problems and
yeah,
dramas and issues.
yeah,
And in doing so, we slow ourselves down, and we also sort of slow them down, because if we are their savior, so to speak,
hmm
then they're going to have to learn that lesson later on, because they didn't learn it. We
yeah.
kind of took that lesson away,
When I was going to 12-step meetings, I used to often say, well, you know what? If you keep putting a pillow under their ass, they're never going to hit hard enough to bounce onto their feet.
Exactly.
And as bottom line, it's as simple as it gets, and it's painful and it's uncomfortable for the people that are enabling to stop that behavior. It's
Yeah,
not easy, and you're going to
I
get
know.
blowback. You're going to get tantrums. You're going to get all kinds of stuff. And it's
Yeah,
going to be a long time coming before they go, you know what? You putting your foot down actually made a difference for me. Thank you. And that
yeah,
thank you may never come. But
yes,
things will shift because you did.
a
You
hundred
know?
percent.
Yeah. All right. Well, you know what? We've got a new winner this week.
Ooh,
Yay.
Yeah. And I'm very,
yeah.
very excited. And I must confess, I kind of like I picked this one on purpose.
Oh,
She hasn't been here
all right.
You
recently.
did.
Okay. I did.
All
So
right.
she didn't share it out. She didn't but I wanted to make sure that she had an excuse to interact with us and welcome to the coven. All right. So,
Okay.
congratulations to this week's Woo Woo giveaway winner, Miss Tamara Collins. Thank you so
Okay.
Congrats.
much for being part of Three Crones and the Woo Woo. For those of you who maybe like tomorrow don't know how this works, every week we give away a 30-minute reading with one of us crones. You get to pick who you want. So if it's me, then it will be an intuitive tarot reading. If it is Krista, then it will be a crystal reading. And if Damaris, it will be either an intuitive tarot reading or a numerology reading. All right. So pick one of us, reach out to us through Facebook Messenger, and we will get you on the schedule. Right now, the reasoning why I wanted to give Tamara this one this week is that she just came out on Facebook as a witch. She thought the rest of us didn't know.
Oh,
But she is doing some really cool stuff with herbal nutrition. That's her particular skill and talent, is making like beverages that are for a purpose. So I welcome Tamara. I really would love for you to be more involved with Three Crones and the Woo Woo, and please do reach out to us for a reading, because we would love to connect with you as well. Well, I got to say, I don't know if there's really anything, behind this, if it's what do they call it? Word of mouth kind of thing. Oh, what is it? When I tell you the CBD works for me, and that's not scientific enough. It's a word.
well,
It starts with an A.
Okay, I'm lost on your word.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No worries. So
but it's okay because I'm lost anyway. So
so it may not be like, you know what? I don't know. I don't know where I went. Somebody just took all of it out of my head. That's interesting. Aw. And yes, Sue. There you go. Congratulations, Tamara. All right. So let's see. Oh, that's what it was. This is not empirical data. All right. But I just want to point out that since Krista's not feeling well and she hasn't been her usual, verbose self, we're about 10 minutes early on the show. So Damaris and I have to fill it out.
That's okay. We can.
Yeah, I'm just poking fun at Krista because we've been going over for the last 6 weeks.
Well, hey.
But you have a lot of wonderful things to say.
Preserve her energy, right? So that she doesn't get weak. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It's all good. It's all good. I don't mind you guys poking fun at me.
That's all I'm doing is poking fun.
It's okay. I know I talk a lot.
That's okay. We like it.
And we love that you talk a lot. Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
we have a lot of information.
Which we haven't
I'm not being critical. I'm just saying because I kind of count on Krista to fill
stop
the
defending.
time.
Stop defending yourself. It's all good. No, we usually spend this extra 10 minutes on the front end. So now we have it on the back end.
Yep.
And we talked about the Patreon. We did.
Yep, we did talk about the Patreon.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. We did that. And
so what are you doing?
Stickers? What?
Gayle, what are you doing other than you're in the 14th state right now?
Yeah, we had to close that out. Did anybody have a good guess on what the
I haven't seen a guess. I haven't seen a right guess. Ohio's the only one. Yeah, her stunned and amazed face that I taught. It's all good. Just as an FYI, come by it honestly.
Ooh, so Mama Burn. I think she Googled. I really do. But yes, Tracy Paquin, you are correct.
You're in Vermont now. Awesome.
I am in Vermont. Yes.
Woohoo! Tracy probably.
And Sue got it. Yep.
Yeah.
And how is Vermont?
It's absolutely flipping gorgeous. Today is absolutely perfect. Mid-70s, big fluffy white clouds. The sun is playing hide and seek. Some of the clouds are looking a little dark. There might be a spit shower here and there. But I hear that it's been very dry here so far this year.
I have to hand it to you too, Gayle. Driving by yourself all those miles too.
I appreciate that, but I'm not by myself. I have my beautiful Jasmine with me.
Yes.
And she has been the best road buddy.
Really?
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, she had a bit of a problem with her eyes back in early March, end of February, beginning of March. And the vet gave her some drops for the eyes, and then within 2 weeks, she went completely blind and has glaucoma.
Oh
And
my gosh.
honestly, I don't think that the vet did anything wrong. I think my dog is allergic to whatever was in those drops.
Oh no. She froze.
And it destroyed her vision. So
Oh
she's
my gosh.
relearning a little bit of shadow or whatever. And it's interesting though, because her eyeballs look like mookaite. I have a piece of mookaite that looks exactly like her eyeballs. It's very, very weird. But because of losing her eyesight, she's getting a little bit more vocal. Like somebody will be walking down the street and she will sense that energy and like talk to them like, who are you? Because she can't just see them walk by. Okay, they're just walking their dog or whatever, no biggie. But she's like the sentry now. Identify yourself. Who are you? You know? And as soon as I, tell her, okay, Jasmine, thank you. That's a helper, or that's just a neighbor and they're on their own property. She seems to understand that as long as I acknowledge, thank you. She's doing her job. So she has been really, really wonderful. I haven't had to worry about, I haven't been afraid or felt insecure at all. And I've, been very, very isolated and alone some of the places that I've been camping. But the 4 days at the diamond mine, the Ace of Diamonds diamond mine in Herkimer, New York, I want to give them huge shout outs because they were just so awesome. I really felt like I owned the place. Never a cross look or anything about my dog wandering around in our area, not on her leash. The only time I had to leash her was when I would leave the campsite to go to the showers because she'd try to follow me, right? But I had my little sluice seat set up in front of the campsite, and whenever I went, like it's about 80 feet away, she'd stay right there at the campsite. She knew where I was.
Good girl.
Yeah, she's been absolutely wonderful. But I don't mean to step on your compliment. I appreciate you acknowledging, my ability to travel alone and do the things that I've been doing. I'm very, very, very lucky in that I have experienced an awful lot of life at a lot of different levels.
Yeah.
So as opposed to say my foster mother that would drive through Detroit on a main thoroughfare and stop at a red light and hit her, her door lock, petrified that somebody was going to come, and carjack her at a red light just because she's below 8 Mile. Yeah. But that was the time that she grew up in, that was back there, she grew up with segregation. She grew up with, be afraid of those people. Don't mix with them. You're a pretty white girl. Don't mix with kind of thing, So
I always say it's a learned behavior. We're taught
it
that.
Is. Yeah.
Very much.
And I've had, enough experiences with people in the city and being in the city and being in different areas of the country that it's not that things don't scare me. I have a more finely tuned sense of awareness of the things to really be afraid of.
That's
Does
great.
that make sense?
Yes.
Yep.
That makes a lot of sense.
Very much. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes.
So, Gayle, I have to say, Tracy said she was confused because she's like, Gayle said it wasn't a New England state. Vermont is very much a New England state.
No, it is not. The 13 original colonies were were New England.
No, they were not.
And Vermont was the 14th to join the Union.
So there are 6 New England states.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island.
So I'm misusing the New England as opposed to the colonies.
Yes. Now, the colonies are different.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Yep.
You're welcome. No problem. Yeah. Yeah, that is, and I get it. So yeah, we get a lot of people, and it's an easy thing to confuse, but yeah. So no worries. I'm glad. So guess what? You're not too far. You're not too far from Tracy and Sue Paquin. And oh wait, there are a few others. Oh God. And everyone's gonna be like, and Chris, and you're not that far from Damaris either, really.
No, it's like 3 to 5 hours. I could see any one of them. Any one of them. So that's one of the things that I'm kind of like hoping for as I, like grow some roots here for a little while.
That'll be a lot of fun. Vermont is it's a beautiful state. It really is a beautiful state.
It really is. About 10 miles up the road is a campground in the Green Mountain National Forest called Woodford. And they have a beautiful lake at the top of the mountain that was dug out by a glacier. And so I'll probably be doing something from there anytime real soon. So it is time for us to go for one more week. Thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Krista, for pushing forward through the coughs and the stuffiness and the feeling icky. We really love you and very much appreciate you. Awesome. Thank you so much, Damaris, for everything this past week. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. And thank all of you who are watching, whether live or on the replay. We could not do this without you. And you make our week just amazing on Tuesday for being here. Thank you so much, guys. See you. Bye.